Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about an Atlanta rapper by the name of B. Rod. Now, B. Rod is caught up in this situation that took place in Atlanta last week. Now, last weekend there was a situation where there were 3 people that were found dead at an Atlanta, I should say an Atlanta area country club. Now, one of the victims ended up being a gentleman by the name of Siller, who was the golf pro or the club pro at that time, and he was also a golf pro. Now, the rapper B. Rod has been arrested as the lead suspect in this investigation. So they're basically saying that the murders were carried out by the rapper B. Rod. Now, B. Rod is not well known, and he's from the Atlanta area as well. What's crazy is he had previously been arrested, and while everybody was looking for the suspect, somehow he slipped the long arms of the law. Now, this story has a lot of twists and turns, and man, the details are wild to say the least. Now, before I get to the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this whole B. Rod situation and this Atlanta triple homicide, man. Now, none of this, I'm gonna keep it real and put this in the forefront. When everything gets tied together, when you put the rapper in this, when you put the victims in this, nothing matches up according to what you would typically hear in a situation with a rapper. You know what I mean? This is one of the wildest stories I'll probably be talking about all week. Now, I'm going to be referencing a news story from the WSB TV News at Channel 2 in Atlanta down there, and they did a really good job of covering this, man. Now, the headline says it all. It says, suspect arrested after 3 men found dead at Cobb County Country Club, right? Now, the story goes on to say a lot, so let's get into it. Police have arrested a man in connection to the murders of 3 people found dead at a Cobb County golf course. Police said the suspect, identified as Brian Roden, was arrested Thursday in Chamblee with the help of a fugitive task force. Stop right there. So, just to level set everybody, 3 people were found dead at a golf course, right? There was a lot of outcry from the local community because they felt unsafe, especially the people who lived around the golf course, because they knew the golf pro guy already. There's been tons of reports about that. This made national news, and they knew he wasn't really connected with anybody else that was killed. So it had people thinking that this was just somebody who was running out here willy-nilly shooting people, you know what I mean? Because the 2 people who they found passed away in the back of a truck also who were shot, they were elder, like one dude was in his 70s. I think the other dude was older too, like in his 60s. So it's odd all around the board. But man, let me continue. Roden is being charged with 3 counts of murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of kidnapping. He is being held in Cobb County Jail. Now, Roden is B. Rod. That's the rapper B. Rod. And although his rap career really wasn't big, it's obvious he was serious. He has several videos out there. His social media presence lists his management and everything. And later in the story, you're going to see that they reached out to his management about this situation. You know what I mean? And they said they're going to make up a statement. But man, let me continue. Now, the story continues by saying, within hours of the murder, Roden was arrested by the Chamblee Police Department on unrelated charges, including DUI, driving a vehicle without insurance, false identification, and more. He bonded out to Cobb County Jail on those charges on Tuesday. So basically, dude was already in jail when they were out there looking for who the suspect or the lead suspect in this killing was, man. Whoever the murderer was, he was already locked up in jail, man. Now, I can't say that he is the murderer. We have to say that he's the alleged murderer, but definitely that's a wild twist of events to think that he was locked up while everybody was out here looking for him. Now, the story continues by saying Cobb County Police Chief Tim Cox did not comment on whether or not Roden had already been identified as a suspect at the time. He did, however, say the investigators developed Roden as a suspect within days of the crimes. Roden is an up-and-coming rapper who goes by the name B. Rod. The manager listed on his Twitter profile confirms Roden, also known as B. Rod, is his client. The manager adds that he is working on a statement to be released. So His management is working on releasing a statement or whatnot, but currently he's locked up in Cobb County, man, facing these 3 counts of murder. Now, the police said that 3 men were found dead at the Pine Tree Country Club Saturday afternoon. Police said the club's golf pro, Gene Siller, was found shot to death near the 10th hole. 2 other victims, Henry Valdez, 46, and Paul Pearson, 76, were found dead in the bed of a pickup truck parked on the green nearby. Now, stop right there. You got a 46-year-old dude and a 76-year-old dude. They got different last names. I'm not sure if they're related or not. And they're found in the bed of the pickup truck on the green. Now, this is where a lot of people on social media or whatever was saying they believe that the golf pro who ended up losing his life, and man, condolences to his family and all that. Condolences to everybody who lost their life in this situation, even though I don't know what the deal is, you know what I'm saying? But the golf pro, Gene Siller, they said that he obviously was witnessing some crime that took place, and that's when, whoever shot him, I should say the alleged killer shot him, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's continue. So police said that Pearson owned the truck and that he is from Topeka, Kansas, according to the police report obtained by Channel 2 News. Valdez is from California and has ties to Los Angeles. The police report revealed that officers have interviewed more than a dozen witnesses, and Channel 2's Chris Jose reached out to everyone listed, but no one wanted to speak out for fear of the shooter was still out and loose at the time. Like I said, there was a lot of hysteria about the fact that, they hadn't caught the shooter yet, and it seemed like the crimes were random at that time. So it seemed like somebody was just out here shooting people. So people were reluctant to talk to the news or media or anything because, they didn't want to get involved with all that. You feel me? Now, it continues to say that the reporter was in Kennesaw Thursday afternoon, where neighbors were frustrated ahead of the announcement of Roden's arrest. Neighbor Daryl Townsend said he wishes police would have given more updates, that the killer had to know this area to get away too fast. There's no way you can disappear that fast. So basically he's saying that, the killer obviously was from Atlanta or from that area because he got away so fast after all, committing all these crimes or committing these murders, you know what I mean? Now, the reporter also talked to another neighbor or a gentleman by the name of Phil Holloway, who spent more than a decade in law enforcement as a police officer and prosecutor. Holloway isn't tied to the case, but is following it closely. He says, this has a very different sort of signature to it. The big question is, why a man in his late 70s is here for business, Holloway said. What was the nature of that business? Where was he from? And why did he come to this area? So these are all questions that this guy Holloway, who has a past in law enforcement and as a prosecutor, so as an attorney, and he's like, man, none of this makes sense. Like, this is a wild situation. Now, Holloway also said that investigators will be working to learn where the 2 victims were found and why were they found in the back of the truck and were killed. Man, and they ended the story there. So basically, there's still a lot of questions out there. And as far as the rapper B-Rod being involved in all this, like, how in the world did these guys get into this back of this pickup truck? Why in the world are they saying that he's the one who killed him? What in the world is going on here, man? I'll say this. As this story starts to play out in the news, because this is being covered by the national news at this point, I believe the story went like on CNN and big like that, you know what I mean? As more details come out, man, I'm going to keep clued into this because this is interesting to say the least. Now, that's not in any way being callous to those folks who lost their lives. It's just none of this mess matches up. Now, am I tripping, or what do you guys think? Do you think that this situation makes any sense? Why in the world would this rapper be involved with these some older guys and, be accused of taking their lives and putting them in the back of a pickup truck at a golf course? Now, the situation with the golf pro, of course, he's at the golf course. That almost, is understandable. You know what I'm saying? It's not understandable in the fact that he lost his life. Like I said, condolences. But you see where he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, sad to say. You know what I mean? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.